But don't worry, we've still got 4 more episodes left this quarter where we'll be covering things like hull stripping, cargo refactor.
Well, it's the end of Q3 2022, and they've showed a lot of things that they say will be in 3.18 in their final ISC episode. But one major feature was conspicuously absent in that episode, and if you haven't figured it out already, I'm talking about Cargo Refactor. Now, as of recording, they haven't removed Cargo Refactor from the roadmap, and according to the latest roadmap roundup, they've even committed some features for 3.18. So what gives? Is Cargo Refactor not going to be in 3.18 and they just forgot to update it? In my last video, I made a series of predictions and speculations on what features are going to be cut and what will make it to 3.18. So let's revisit them. If you're only interested in Cargo Refactor, then skip to this timestamp. Keep in mind it's still September as of this recording, and November is less than 2 months away. So these things can still get cut from 3.18. I said that if 3.18 were to enter Evocati this week, it would be on a Friday. Turns out, it might be even later than that. I mentioned that prison activities was likely to get cut, but according to this ISC episode, apparently they made a lot of progress on it. For Korea, I mentioned it might get cut because lots of PvP would put a lot of stress on PES, or persistent entity streaming. I may be wrong about this because I think it's just a makeover of Korea, along with some new gameplay elements. They're also going to add a bunch of reforms to crime stat to make cops less aggressive if you have a lower crime stat, along with being able to surrender for less prison time. I have a couple questions on that though. Are you still going to spawn in Grimhex if you have a low crime stat? And are you still going to get armistice privileges? I've said that Daemar derelicts were likely going to be in 3.18, and they've confirmed it, along with 3 missions that come with it. The Grey Cat racetrack has also been confirmed for 3.18. No surprises for rivers and caves, or salvage and hull stripping. They say it's coming in 3.18, but now they've given us more details about them. There will be random derelicts that will spawn in asteroid belts and Lagrange points that you can harvest, so you don't have to fight or watch other people fight to harvest. The multi-tool also can't be used to repair destroyed components. The Drake Corsair was nowhere to be seen, which kinda confirms my suspicion that it isn't as complete and won't show up in 3.18, but perhaps in 3.18.1. What they showed of the new Orson missions is barely anything. It looks like they loaded a map, plopped a couple enemies in a building, and then recorded someone fumbling around them. It looks like they spent less than an hour on it, or they just recycled Siege of Orson footage and passed it off as these new mission prototypes. Which now leads us to Cargo Refactor. For people who don't know what Cargo Refactor is, it's basically physicalizing cargo. Currently, whenever you buy cargo and load it into the ship, it's there, but it's also not there. You can see it, but you can't pick it up, and you can walk through them. With Cargo Refactor, you can pick up cargo and interact with it, and in later iterations, it will make cargo loading more time consuming because you either have to load it manually yourself or hire NPCs to load it, which is where the Argo Cargo comes in. But now, given its absence in ISC, does that mean Cargo Refactor is no longer in 3.18? Well, according to this comment, Jared said in Star Citizen Live that they'll show it after CitizenCon, and according to this tweet by Jared, this ISC was meant only for features they've covered this season, which according to him, doesn't include Cargo Refactor. They talked about it numerous times. They said they were gonna show it this quarter. They didn't show it, and now they're backtracking by saying they didn't plan on showing it. So sorry, Julio, but Jared proved you wrong. So what's going on? Apparently the reason they didn't show it was because they never covered it to begin with, which is also true for the new missions in Orson. But they showed it, barely. I'm not buying this excuse. If it wasn't ready to show this week, is it gonna be ready when 3.18 comes out in supposedly less than 2 months? Seriously, what's going on with CIG? If Evocati's not happening this month, how are they gonna get this out by the first half of November? And by the way, they're still sticking with that date. Obviously, they're gonna have to rush. But even then, they'll still probably delay it, and there will probably be crunch, which I know is not good for the employees, but honestly, I'm fine with it, because they did this to themselves. It would at least show they're serious about their deadlines. What do you think of this? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content. And if you want more Star Citizen stuff, check out this video here.